Everybody, I just wanted to do a little fish room update or fish room tour here. Just give you a quick rundown of my tanks and what I currently have in them. I'm gonna start with this one 90 gallon that I have here. This is a tank that I set up to eventually be built into a wall. Over here is gonna be, it's all getting renovated currently, but it's gonna be built into a wall from this side, so that all you see is that 90 gallon. This will be just a little living room down here. This tank's just got a little overhead sump that I put together with an overflow weir here. So let's just jump right into it. These are my OB peacocks. Now these fish I have been doing a little bit of breeding with. This is the original group I bought. I kind of went to a few different stores, picked up a couple of 2-3 OBs from every store I went to, and figured I'd mix up the bloodlines a little bit. This right here seems to be the tank boss, this guy here. The other ones are not bad looking. I don't have the best ratio male to female here. I've got a lot more males than females. Probably only got about 3 of them in here right now, unfortunately. I know for sure this one's a female. She's been holding. And same with that one. I think that one may currently be holding right now, the yellow, more yellow one there. And there's one other one in here somewhere. But yeah, so I'll kind of do this just tank by tank here. I've got a few fry from these fish, and I'll just show you those guys in a minute. But so this tank's just empty right now, nothing going on in here. But this tank has a little fahaca puffer, or faca puffer, however you want to pronounce it. And he's pretty much alone in here. I think there might be a couple of guppies with him. But yeah, he's just growing out right now. Taking care of my snail problem, more or less. Been dumping all the little pond snails I find in my other tanks into here. He loves them. He also eats shrimp and random other things. This little tank's just temporary for now. Pretty soon I'll probably get him into a 50 gallon, get him growing out a little bit. And here I have some OB peacock fry that I've been just growing out in this. This is just a little 10 gallon here. I do need to move these guys pretty soon to a larger tank also. But I've got a 125 that I'll be showing later, and that's probably where these guys are going to end up once I sell the ones that are in it. This tank, well, it was going to be a planted tank, and algae kind of took over. It was just going to be my little experiment. I haven't been doing much with it. I haven't really been maintaining it. Just feeding a little lonely swordtail in here, and that's it. I really do got to clean up the algae problem, but there's plants in there anyways. And so that is just about it for this little racking system I have here. Now if I move to the side here, this is just a little grow out tank for, I've got one electric blue Jack Dempsey in here that I'm currently growing out. I haven't had good luck with these guys. I bought a group of about, must have bought 10 of them. This is the only guy that's lived. Ever since I did that, I did some more research into them and whatnot, and found out that that's about right. And then, yeah, probably won't bother. I'll try and grow this guy up and plop him in a tank, but I probably won't end up trying to breed these guys or anything. I haven't really been too lucky with them. And also I've got in here, this is a African arowana that I just picked up not too long ago, just a little guy. He literally just got put in this tank about 5 minutes ago. Running around pretty good, doesn't seem to be phased by getting moved today. But yeah, just growing him out, see how he turns out. I might pick up one more of them, but I was going to at the store, but just doing a quick search on Google about them, I found out they're probably better alone once they get large. They'd be fine when they're small, but yeah, no, I'll just leave them alone for now, probably. No. This tank, not much going on with this tank either. This is just a little 10-gallon that got some fry in it right now. These are just in my main display tank, or upstairs. I've got like a 90-gallon tank, and these blue-eyed cichlids or jade-eyed cichlids that I have just keep producing fry, so I siphoned them out with a little airline hose just to pop into this tank. Put this in here to try and keep the circulation up so that these guys don't get too fungused over or grown over or anything like that. So they seem to be, well, they're living so far. It was just kind of an experiment, seeing if they'd be all right here. They just became wigglers pretty much, and then I sucked them out with an airline hose, popped them in here. Yeah, well, we'll see how they turn out. This is just a smaller tank that I've got right now. It's just housing a bunch of guppies. I use these guys for feeders and whatnot usually, honestly, and snails in here. This is the snail factory to supply the puffer that I previously showed. Yeah, so this tank's just you know, I keep pulling guppies out and either selling them or feeding them to other fish, stuff like that. So that's pretty much it for this side. I've got some tanks just sitting down there full of junk right now that'll probably fill up one day. Moving on here, I've got this is a little breeding trap that I've got. I'm going to try and get a light on here without freaking these guys out too much. These are just some OB peacocks. Real small. Oh wow, I gotta clean this thing out. But yeah, I'll probably move these guys to, I've got a few empty tanks now, so I'll probably move these guys to an empty tank today. Just another group of OBs. And oh yeah, I was gonna mention something too about, so this is a homemade egg tumbler that I got. So you know, that's kind of phase one when I pull the eggs out from these guys when they're holding. I'll pop the eggs into here, and then once they start getting a little too big for that, I pop them into this, and then once they're too big for that, I move them down to that tank I showed you down here. And then eventually they get moved all the way over to here, which is, this is my freshly set up 125. And right now I've just got a whole bunch of OB peacocks growing out. Got all kinds. Actually, I got a couple sunshine cichlids in there too, but for the most part it's just OBs in here. Try and get the glare to go away a little bit, but yeah, these guys I'll probably be I'll select some females that I like the look of, and I've been noticing I've been getting a lot of these albinos too. I kind of been digging how they look. They look pretty sweet. They're kind of yellowy and some blue on them still, so I'll probably keep them around too and start a group of those guys. But either way, yeah, I'll pull some females out of here, put them in my larger 90-gallon with the adults, and try and get some more breeding females, and then just sell the rest. Move some more into here, some of the smaller OBs. Yeah, so moving back to where we were here, back over at this rack. Down here, this is my electric blue acara, and this is a female. Right over here, this is a male. I had them in this tank for a while, and they're breeding, and if you can see, it's hard to see on camera apparently, but I'll try to get a couple clips. There's about, I don't know, I'd say there's probably about 40 fry running around in here. Very hard to see though. So I've been experimenting a little bit because I was trying to keep the male and the female together here, and I noticed that the first batch these guys had, you know, they're 50-60 fry, and they ended up, I think the male was eating them, and the female was just beating the crap out of him. He was looking pretty beat up and this and that.